there itself, and
Okay.
then again we need to look for the projects and all. Anyways, this is my first session on Oracle ERP. Someone advised me saying that it's one of the best ERPs, and where we can have a good career. That's what my goal is, to learn something new and get a job again.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
thanks for
Thanks, Santosh. Next, please.
Hi, Pramod. This is Namita.
Hi, Ramita.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
audible. Please go ahead.
yeah, my total experience into non-IT is like 7 years of experience I have into mappings. So I'm thinking to jump into like this IT sector. So I have joined here.
Thanks, Ramita. Next,
Yeah.
please. Akhtar Rajkumar.
Good morning,
Nalin.
Pramod. My
Hi,
name is
yeah, Rajkumar.
Rajkumar.
Yeah, Rajkumar.
I have total 15 years of experience. I am into EPS technical. So
Oh, nice.
going forward, I wanted to convert into
Functional.
techno-functional or functional role. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're aware of EBS.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Rajkumar. Akhtar or Mali. Akhtar, can you hear me? Akhtar or Mali, do you want to introduce yourself? Okay. All right. So let me give my introduction. My name is Pramod. I have around 20 years of experience in IT, which includes Oracle ABS as well as Oracle Cloud applications. I've experience in implementation, support, and upgrades and rollers. Basically, I'm into supply chain management. I did a lot of projects in inventory, order management, procurement, and have experience driving projects, delivery, managing the teams, and corporate trainings. Okay. So as part of today's demo, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce you to our cloud application, and I'm going to show you how this product works and what is covered as part of the training sessions, and what do you learn in this course as part of this 2 months journey. Okay, let me share my screen quickly, and one of you please confirm if you're able to see my screen. Can one of you please confirm if you're able to see my screen?
Yeah, Pramod.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll start with the agenda. So I'll talk about Oracle Cloud applications, how it started. Then I'll talk about the Oracle Cloud modules, okay, which includes inventory, user management, procurement, and order management. Then I'm going to talk about data conversion strategy, then reports and project documentation. What is included or what is part of the documentation when you actually do any project in companies. Okay. Then I'm going to talk about the course details, which includes your course duration, training strategy. What is that covered as part of this entire course? All right. Feel free in case if you have any questions. Okay. Anything that you want to ask, feel free to ask me. Okay. Any questions?
No problem.
No problem. Okay, fine. So let me quickly share the screen again.
Hello.
Yes, just give me a minute. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Can you also see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So Oracle is a company. They have a lot of products in-house, and they also developed a lot of products. So as part of their continuous improvement and development of the products, what Oracle did, They came up with a product called EBS in the past, e-business suite. Okay, it is called as the e-business suite. And they also acquired a lot of companies, okay, which are already into ERP. So ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning tool. Okay, it's a software which ideally helps business to run their operations, day-to-day business. It can be, small scale or high-level companies. Okay, it can be for any industry. It doesn't matter if they are into distributions, retail, food industry, health industry, or production. Any industry, who are into buying and selling, or any industry who are into catering the service to the customer. You have a customer, you have a supplier, you have a manufacturing, or dealers, anything. Okay. The ultimate goal for a company is to provide services to the company, and they want to make sure the quality of the products on time, as well as reducing the time to deliver the product right to the customer on the right time. So that's the main agenda of any companies. Okay. And to manage all these things, what companies need, and they need a software that can help them to see the visibility, and they can also see what is going on in their company and how well they can supply to their customers. Okay. So that they can fulfill the customer orders on time. So for that ideal, they need a system where that system can help them to run their entire operations and give a 360-degree of view what is available and when they can promise to which customer. Okay, this is what it does. It helps you to better plan your business. This is called as ERP systems. Okay, so in market there are a lot of ERP systems. Okay, now we'll just talk about only Oracle Cloud right now. Okay, so initially Oracle came with a product called EBS, e-business suite. Okay, they did very well, and at that time they also acquired a lot of other companies. People saw JD Edwards, Siebel, okay, and other companies too. So what Oracle did as part of their innovations, they came up with a new tool called as Cloud, or it is also called as Fusion Applications, right? So all the companies are moving towards cloud in terms of ERPs, in terms of managing their day-to-day operations, right? So Oracle came up with this tool called as cloud applications or cloud applications. It's also called as Fusion. Fusion is nothing but it's a mix of something. Okay, it's a mix of something. Okay, so what Oracle did, they took some of the best features, okay, and functionalities from all their products. As I said, right, they have different products which they have acquired, and they also have EBS. So they took some of the best features, best functionality from each and every product, and then they made a new product called as Fusion Applications, which has got out of the box features which actually helps the customer to run their business, right? Now this is called as SaaS application, which means software as a service. Customer don't have to buy they don't have to install any application. All they can do, enter the URL, enter the login credentials, and they can directly use the product. They don't have to install everything. Everything is charged based on the customer user as well as the product that they are buying. It's like an opt-in feature. Basically, if you buy any package in media, probably Netflix, Amazon, or any channels, right? So you pay for the usage. It can be monthly, it can be yearly. So that once you use it, you pay it. Okay. So Oracle comes with the different flavors, SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. Okay. So, but for now, let's talk about only SaaS. SaaS is nothing but software as a service, which helps the customers to log into the application using a URL and run their operations. All right. Now, there are a lot of different products in Fusion applications. One is SCM, you can call it as a procurement, then manufacturing, then finance, then it's all these are different flavors of our cloud application based on the business. Now, if the customer is only into supply chain management, where they want to just buy the products and they are into selling the products like a distributor, so or retail industry, so they can just implement certain products. Or the company already has a factories, or they are already into production, so they have to buy some other models. Let's say manufacturing. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the screen of cloud applications, right? So let me just log out and log in back. Okay, this is your login page of cloud applications. Okay, so you have a username and password, and then you click on sign in. So once you click on sign in, you get this landing page. Okay, now you see this is just a web portal, or you can call it as a web page where you can log into the application, and depends upon the role and responsibilities that you have in your company, you'll be given certain access. Based on that, you can perform the transactions or you can perform certain tasks. Now there are two things here. One, as a consultant or business units. Let's say, for example, we are all consultants, which means we are software engineers, and what we are doing, we are actually implementing the cloud application based on the customer requirement. If the customer is into just buying the products and selling the products, okay, or is into manufacturing of goods, then ideally what you need to do, you have to implement certain models in our cloud applications. Okay, then you have a business unit who is actually going to do the transactions, a real time transactions, probably moving the material or creating a purchase order or creating sales order. That is what he does. Consultants, we as a consultant, we implement the product, and business units will use the products. Clear? Any questions, guys? Any questions? Okay. Now, any ERP or any software you see, there is something called as user management. What is a user management? Management, who can create or who can access, who can perform what in the system. Okay. So, which means user management is nothing but its roles and responsibilities and access. Let's say, for example, you're a sales manager, which means you are authorized to create sales orders, or you're purchasing clerk, then you're responsible for creating a purchase order, or you're a warehouse operator. Okay, then you'll be authorized to create inventory transactions. Depending on the role and responsibility that you play in a company, you will be given certain access in the system so that you can do the same thing in the ERP applications, or I mean Oracle Cloud applications. Okay. Now Oracle Cloud is tightly integrated and you have a lot of securities. And if you see here, this is where you click on tools and click on security console, where you can create your users, give them access, okay, and inactivate the users. Let's say, in case, let's say if I want to search my user, okay, this is my user. Any ERP, if you take any software, there is always something called as user management. Let's say if you take a small school software, there also you have settings where you have user management, and you create a users and they can perform some transactions in the system. Similarly, in Oracle Cloud application, you have something called as user. This user will have access to certain roles, maybe a table manager, warehouse manager, or sales manager or procurement. Based on this, they can access those screens in the applications. If you're a warehouse operator, you can only access warehouse related activities. If you're a procurement manager, you'll have access to only procurement. If you're a sales, then you'll have access to sales. So this is where you navigate, and you can create your user, associate this user to your employee, and then provide all these roles. These are called as roles. And this is called as your user account. This is a user account, and here you have role management, which means you give access to the roles, and if you want, you can also indate the roles or delete the roles or inactivate the user. Probably you have a user who is no longer associated with the company. So what you do, you'll inactivate the user. So
How
that
you can end the user?
you just inactivate basically, just like this. Okay. So when you inactivate user, what happens? He'll no longer access the system. Let's say, for example, you have a scenario where the employee left the organization, or you don't want to give access to the employee anymore. So what you do, you inactivate the users, which means system will not allow the user to log in into the applications. Okay. Now this also have option to display what is the employee number, who is the manager, what is the job. Okay. So this, let's park this for a while. Okay. So this is the basic information that capture the user level. Okay. Now these are called as roles. Roles, as I mentioned, like sales manager, procurement manager, warehouse manager, okay, or finance manager, payables manager. Those are the roles that are available here. Okay. Now, in case if you think you want to create a new role, you can still do this one. In case if you want to create a new role, you can also do. If you want to compare, you can still compare. Probably, you want to compare to user, probably, let me search this. Okay, let me search this specific user. Okay. Now what I want to do, in case if I want to search two users, I can still do that using here. Okay, which will give me a glance of in details what are the common roles, what are the roles that are available for this specific user, what is not available for others. Or you can just do the analysis, and you can, if you want, you can also export the data to Excel. It's taking time. Just a minute. Let me search this again.
We create the users and we assign the roles to them, or usually
Correct.
in a separate team, because
Correct. Correct. So ideally, what happens? You create a user, and you assign the roles to the users.
okay.
And you can do this manually, or if you want, you can also do this using different methods. Probably if you have a bulk of roles that you want to use, probably 10 different roles you want to assign to a single user, what you can do, you can manually enter that. Or if you also want, you can also use a spreadsheet mechanism, that's also available. Or in case you have a scenario where you have different users who fall into same department. Let's say, for example, sales department, they're all sales representatives. Okay. And everyone has the same roles in the system, or they have the same responsibility that they do in terms of operations. So rather than creating manually, you can create a rule in such a way that if this is a department, if this is a job, assign all these roles. Okay. So there are different ways how you can do this. You can create it manually, or you can use a spreadsheet to upload the roles, or you can also create your own rules, so that if the criteria meets, the system automatically assign all those rules to the specific users. It's taking time. Just give me a minute, guys. It's quite slow today. Sure. Right. So that's the background of user management. Any questions?
So there's nothing functional or again technical here, right? Because I mean, I was telling you, right, I was supporting few tools wherein we were only responsible for creating videos, and the other functional things were carried out by someone. I mean, we are learning functional, right? Pramod, the ERP we are talking about now.
This course only talks about functional.
Okay.
Apart from that, we are also going to train you on how to create BI reports, how to create OTBI reports, how to run the backend queries, and perform the data conversions also. This entire thing is part of the course curriculum. So again, EBS world, you have technical, functional, right? But when it comes to cloud, it is more of a functional, and the functional have access to creating a basic BI reports and OT base anyways, it's there. It's a drag and drop methodology. And I'm going to show you that also. All right. And data conversion is it's a different strategy in cloud compared to ABS. Right. So, right. Any questions? Let me run this again. It's taking time. Again, depends upon the volume of the data. It takes time. Usually, it should not take this much of time. Any other questions? Okay.
Normally we don't do this kind of tasks, right? Creating the user and assigning the roles. It will be based on some approvals. There will be a separate person who create the users or who assign
Correct.
the roles.
Correct. So I'll tell you the strategy how it works in ERPs. Okay. Now you are a consultant. You are a consultant. Let's say you're a supply chain consultant, supply chain management consultant. Okay. Now you are responsible for implementing cloud applications for the customer. So you are more responsible for, let's say, for example, inventory management or procurement or order management. Okay. Now there will be multiple teams in a company in the project. Let's say this is your project. Then let's say, for example, ABC, traders, or this is a company who are into retail industry and you're implementing. And if the company is decided that they want to implement or cloud application. So you work for a company, IT company, and the IT company decided that they want to implement this or provide the services. Now there will be multiple teams who will be working. It can be supply chain, it can be finance team, and it can be same team. Finance, HCM, and a supply chain team. Now you will be responsible for creating this. Finance is responsible for payables and receivables. HCM is responsible HCM models. So which means different consultants will implement different models in the applications. Is it clear? Now, in terms of user creation, in terms of role management, now each individual, they'll be working with the business and they'll be creating. Now, in some projects, HCM team will take care about this, creating the users, creating the employees. But in case if they're not implementing full-fledged HCM, probably you'll be responsible for doing this. That depends upon project to project. But everyone who is actually working on cloud applications, they'll know how to create users. They'll be given access to manage their users, employees, and accessing the roles. Okay. So it depends upon the nature of the project. Okay. So that's how everyone gets trained on managing the user management. Does it answer your question? Now, in terms of see what happens in the in system in business, that's the second thing. If you have to create a user in system, usually what happens, there will be a paperwork or there will be an email from the business, and they'll say this is the first name, this is the last name, this is the email ID, and what's the person, okay, what roles he has to be assigned. So they'll prepare a paperwork or they'll prepare an email or a request. You can call it as, it can be paperwork, it can be email or a request. It comes from the departments. It comes from the departments, and that request goes to IT department in real time, telling you in real time. Then IT department will take that request and then they create user accounts and assign roles. This is what happens in real world. Same thing happens in system also in Oracle. It doesn't matter what system you're using. There is a procedure, there is a process which is followed in a business. You cannot just, you have access, it doesn't mean that you can give any access. It doesn't work like that. Okay, you will get a request, and based on the request, IT team will be there. They'll have access to user managed screens, and they'll give the access based on the email which is being uploaded by the certain departments. Is it answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Again, business is different and the system is different. What you do in business, same thing, you follow the process, or you try to map the process in the applications. Okay, you cannot, deviate from the actual business process because it is based on the compliance process, what you do. Okay, so that is all about your user management and roles. Any questions before I move to the next one? Right. So again, no questions. Okay. Now this is the landing page of cloud applications. On the left side, you see 3 lines, which is called as navigator icon. Okay. So when you click on this, it again displays certain links to access the applications. Okay. Now on my home page, see, this displays certain access. Whatever you're seeing here is actually available on the home screen also. This is called as a springboard or home page where you can see all the different icons. Now, based on the role that you're playing in the company, you will be given access, and that access will help you to display these roles. Now, let's say, for example, if I'm into um, warehouse management, supply chain execution, right? So I'll see inventory management icons. If I'm into finance, then I'll access responsibilities of receivables. Or if I'm into sales management, okay, sales orders or order management or sales manager or sales rep, then I'll be given access to order management screen. Now, each icon, whatever you're seeing on this home page, will give you access to perform certain transactions in the screen. Okay, as I said, there are 2 kinds of users. One is a consultant or implementation user or a business user or a super user. Super user is the one who can have access to setups or setting the system. Let's say, for example, if you click on here, this is called as setup and maintenance. So where whatever you're seeing here, right, these are called as home global icons. So most of the product ERP products have these icons, which will help you to access these screens. Okay, it's like a UI functionality. Now you have something called as setup and maintenance. It is nothing but settings. Any ERP, if you see, right, you have something called as settings or setups or configuration. Different terminologies, but it ideally means how to set up a system. Okay, so to set up this application, you go to setup and maintenance. This is where you do all your configurations. Let's say if you're implementing procurement. So ideally what you do, you click on this and you select this procurement and you perform all the setups that are required for your customer, that are required for your customers, right? So now think that you are a consultant who are, and your role is to implement the system, cloud applications. Okay, so you'll be coming to the screen. It's called as setup and maintenance screen, and you will enable this and you can set those configurations that are mandatory for the customer. Okay, some may be optional, some may be mandatory, some may be good to have. So all those are part of this configurations. So if you see this screen, there's something called as go to offerings, which means what is the customer buying? What is the customer buying, or what is the customer going to use for going to use this application for? In case if he's only using procurement, or in case if he's only using order management, then you click on procurement and then you enable this product. Just like if you buy any product, if you want to use it, you opt in, you enable it so that you can use it. If it is not enabled, you cannot use it. Similarly, in the CRP product also, if you want to use that features or functionalities, ideally you have to first enable it and then you can use it. This is called as offerings in Oracle applications, which means this will allow you to perform the configurations. If you are going to implement procurement, make sure you enable it. Okay, and this screen ideally helps you to check the features, check the tasks that are available, and check the related options. Everything you can download in PDF, HTML, and Excel sheets. That's what you can do. In case if the customer is implementing manufacturing, then you enable the manufacturing, start configuring the applications. Okay. Now, what this screen will do, apart from this, it will allow you to configure the system. It will allow you to export the data. In case, let's say, for example, if you want to export some data, you can also do this. Okay, there is something called as import export feature in cloud applications. Okay. So when you say import export, let's say for example, if you have a bulk data that you want to upload to the system rather than entering manually or doing the data entry, or cloud is a feature called as export data and import the data using a spreadsheet. So you can bulk upload any data in the applications in terms of configurations. Okay. So this can be also used for transactional data also. Okay. Now if I click on here, just guys bear with me. Application is little bit slow today. Okay, see this? Export the data, import the data. Okay, so this helps you to upload data in bulk using a spreadsheet mechanism. Apart from that, this also helps you to compare the data. Let's say, for example, now we have multiple instances like this, pods or environments like this, right? So, in case if you want to compare the data, you can also do this. How much data is loaded, what is loaded, what is available in the system. You can compare also. Okay. So that flexibility is also available here. Okay. So which means this functional setup manager, it is called as functional setup manager, which is ideally used for configuring the application, reviewing the configurations using some reports, and also comparing the configuration that you configured. Okay. That is what you can do. Any questions? Just think that this is a placeholder where you come and configure the applications. Any RPC, you have something called as settings or configurations or admin related tasks. Those will be part of here. Any questions? Any questions?
So it's like Pramod, we are acting like vendor to the client, right? So
Correct.
okay,
Correct. So which means when you say vendor, so ideally you are a software developer, software engineer, or consultant who is going to the customer, and customer already bought Oracle Cloud applications, and you are creating or you're configuring the application based on the customer requirement.
okay. So it's an high level position only then, right? Because see, few things when it comes to this one, system selection and all, we are not expert in those areas, right? Like if we are proposing this type of portals, I hope we are gonna take this like from AWS maybe. So how do we judge the hardware requirement and all? Is that's not our duty, correct?
No, no. Hardware, there's nothing like hardware in the system. It is only the software, which is called a software as a service. Okay. So again, you don't have to worry about what they are buying. That sales side, it will be already done. Your role is only to configure the application.
Okay, okay.
Your role is just to go and configure the application based on the customer requirement. If the customer is saying, hey, today I'm going to buy products from so and so supplier, and I create an agreement, okay, and I also sell my products to so and so customer, and I give discounts based on item, based on category, based on certain conditions, and I maintain products in my warehouse, and that warehouse are located in different locations, and sometimes I want to make sure that I want to check how much stock is available, okay, and I want to make sure that the stock is available in different locations, and I want to manage that stock, plan the stock, and I want to perform some sort of request whenever the stock goes down. It has to create a request. All these are called as requirements basically. Now I'm just talking about the 10,000 feature requirements. These requirements, you take it and you configure the system based on this. That is what you do. Now I told you three different departments. One is procurement, sales, warehouses. Correct? So now you have to implement three different modules, and based on that, you see what fits in Oracle. You have a requirement to create a purchase order. How do you configure that in the applications? That's what as a consultant you do. Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah. So it's like it's suitable for all sort of industries or only to the manufacturing industries.
Doesn't matter as long as the customer is into business. of catering to the service to the customers, they can get it. Let's say, for example, if the customer is into, see again, what is supply chain management? Supply chain is management is nothing. Supplying to the customers on time, basically. From different sources, they get it and supply to the customers. That's what they do. Correct? So it can be direct or indirect purchasing. Basically, it can be any industry, health industry, or it can be retail industry, manufacturing industry, any industry. If you take any industry, this product can suit. It doesn't matter. Any more questions? Any more questions? Any questions? See, again, this product is really easy to learn and implement and, work on, because, this doesn't need, as long as you know basic stuff, how you buy, how to sell, or basically understand this terminology, it is easy. It's not so complicated, because, let's assume if you are into an industry, basically, if you made a small school software. So what you do, you go to the market, basically, go to a school or college, based on the requirements, you set up this application to them. Clear? So understand the requirement and map it and configure the application to the customer needs. That's what we're trying to do here. Clear? So next is your product management. Product management is nothing but items or the products that are available in the system. So you configure it based on the customer needs. You have different categories. Probably if the customer is into retail industry, he has a fashion, he has a footwear, he has a different set of products. So you create those categories, you assign those items to the categories, and you manage them. That's what you do as part of the product management. All right. So again, you have something called as supply chain execution, which is nothing but inventory management. What does inventory do? Inventory is nothing but stock. Inventory is nothing but stock. Stock that is available in the system. How to check the stock, how to move the stock, how to plan the stock. This is what inventory management will do. Which means if the customer has if the customer has multiple locations and multiple warehouses, each warehouse has a different set of items, stock. How do you manage it? That is what inventory management will do, which means managing your warehouse, checking the stock, moving the stock from one location to the other location, which warehouse will have which items, how to restrict the items, how to plan the items in a warehouse, how to receive the items into the warehouse, how to ship the items from the warehouse or fulfill the items from the warehouse, or how to count how much stock is available in which shelf. These are all part of your inventory management. Okay. Apart from that, replenishment, which means every time you want to maintain a minimum stock in your warehouse. Let's say, what happens if the stock goes down? If you see vending machines in shopping malls, right? What happens? So they maintain a minimum level of stock, which means let's say soft drinks vending machines. Let's say Coke. They maintain 50 bottles, okay, on a daily basis. The moment it goes down, they get an alert or notification, then they'll come and refill the stock. Same way in warehouse also, this scenario is there. How to replenish or how to refill the stock when the stock goes below. So that they want to make sure they refill it so that the stock is available for production or for selling to the customer. It can be for any reason. That is all part of your inventory management. Is clear? Guys, is it clear? Any
Yeah.
questions? Yeah, any questions? Okay. So this is all about your inventory management. Again, you have inventory reports. You can create you can run the seeded reports, or if you want to create your own reports, Oracle has that provision to use ODBay, which helps you to create your own reports. All right. Then you have something called as order management. It is ideally used to configure all your order fulfillment process, which means who are your customers, from where you want to ship the material, okay, and how you want to give a discounts, how to manage your orders, okay, how to check your orders, how to ship your orders. Everything is part of your order management, starting from order entry to order fulfillment process. Everything is configured, and you can see here these are called as info lists basically. These will give you, analysis or a quick snapshot of the data that is available. How many orders are back ordered? How many orders are on hold? How many orders are error? So if a customer calls and asks, hey, I placed an order, what's the status of the order? You can search the order and you can give the data. Or in case if the management comes and says, I want to check how many orders are past due, which are not shipped. Looking at this dashboard, the company can understand what is the status of the orders currently. Clear? Now you can also create your own rules for discounts. Basically, based on the items, based on the category, based on your seasonal discounts. You can also create your own rules for discounts, which means you can create rules in such a way that based on that rule, you can give discount. If it can be for a customer and an item or a date range or anything, you can create your own rules so that you can have that discount provision to the rules. Or you can also default some sort of additional fees that you want to apply. If the laptop, if the customer is placing a order for a laptop, impose $100 as a service charge. Or if you're importing something, or if the customer is placing a custom order, I want to charge additional $100 as admin fee. I can also do that. So you can create all these rules using discounts which are available in order management. Okay, so starting with creating a sales order, picking, packing, and fulfilling the order. Everything is part of your order. And from where you want to ship it, let's say, for example, if you have a customer, there is a warehouse in, let's say, for example, Chennai. They also have warehouses in Delhi, Mumbai, and everywhere. Now, what system will do if an order is placed in Hyderabad? Now, on what basis it has to pick the warehouse? Just like Amazon, right? If you're placing an order from Hyderabad, ideally what it will do, it will check the nearest location and then it will send you the product on time. How this works? This works on a logic to understand what is the distance, what is the best time that it can reach the customer, or it can be based on the cost. Multiple factors are there. On what basis you want to ship a product to the customer, from which warehouse. All those rules you can set up in the applications. If the customer is Hyderabad, I want to check from which location I want to ship the product. And is it based on the distance? Is it based on the probably certain rules, or is it based on the cost? So I can create these rules and I can create an order and fulfill it to the customer. Or sometimes probably you don't have a product. It's called as a drop shipment. You get the order from the supplier and directly ship it to the customer. That is called as a drop shipment. That rule you can also set up based on item or based on the customers. Or probably, in case if you want to fulfill an order from a supplier where you want to get the product into your warehouse and ship it to the customer, you can also do this. It is called as back-to-back orders. So all these orders can be configured and then can perform in the application. Any questions? Any questions? Guys, any questions? All right. So the last one is, procurement. Procurement ideally helps you to, manage all your buying process. If you want to buy some products from the suppliers, what you do, you come to procurement and you create a purchase order. Purchase order is nothing but it's a legal document that is ideally used to, buy products from the supplier. Okay. So you have a requisition. Requisition is nothing but an internal request, basically. Let's say, for example, if the company needs 10 laptops, it's a request that is coming from a department. So they raise a request saying that we need 10 laptops. Now, what the company does, that request, they take it and there is an authorized person in a company is called as an agent or a buyer. He calls multiple suppliers and he makes sure that quality of the product is maintained on time, which is nothing but on time delivery and the price and support. These factors will be considered and then they buy the products from the suppliers. Okay, then the supplier ships the products and you receive the products and you distribute to the company. Now, what procurement does, there are multiple things here. One is a request, which is nothing but a request that is coming from a different employees. Or you also create an agreement with the supplier where you will have a relation with the supplier. It can be long term, it can be short term, that you're going to buy the products from the supplier for so and so price and so categories or items. That is what you create an agreement and you refer that agreement to buy the products. That is what you do. Okay, any questions? Again, there are a lot of features which are available, which we'll see when we actually get into the trainings. Any questions?
Mr. Parmod,
Yes, please.
I'm a PLSQL developer having
Okay.
16 years of experience.
Okay.
So which is better? I can move on Oracle EBS or Oracle Fusion, which is I
Okay.
will be in comfortable side.
Obviously, it's going to be cloud because our cloud is the new technology which is in the market. EBS is there, but again, most of the customers are moving from EBS to our cloud applications. So I can definitely say that our cloud is the best option.
Okay. So I will be comfortable in Fusion side.
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay, okay. So how is the job market?
So I'm going to talk about the job market in a few minutes once I'm
Okay.
done with this one. Okay, just bear with me.
Thank you.
Okay, these are all about your products. But there is something called as data conversion. What is data conversion? Data conversion is nothing but moving the data from one system to the other system. Probably they have a ERP system or a software. Okay, now they want to move this data to Oracle Cloud applications. So there are different ways how you can do this. Okay, in terms of our cloud applications, what you do, you export all this data, readily import into cloud application, just a single line. But how this works when you say import, export, and import, you export the data, then you read the data, you review the data, which means the business does everything for you. So, what data you need to perform? There might be 100 purchase orders or 100 items. Out of them, only 30 are inactive and 70 are good to go. So, you clean the data, okay? Then you prepare the file in which Oracle can read that. You cannot just give an Excel sheet. So Oracle has something called as FBDI, file-based data import. This is called as a spreadsheet which helps you to load the data into Oracle Cloud, which Oracle can understand that file format. It is just an Excel sheet. You just enter the data and you enter the data, convert it to CSV file format and zip file format, then load the data, then import the data. These are the steps that you perform in the applications. Okay, it can be a master items or it can be items. Sorry, it can be configurations or it can be transaction data. Okay, so Oracle has this provision to load the data, which is called as a data conversion activity in cloud applications. Okay, it can be items, it can be purchase order, it can be sales orders, it can be customers, it can be suppliers, it can be invoices, anything. In case if you want to move the data from your legacy system to cloud applications, there is always something called as file-based data import. In short, is called as FBDI. That is used to convert the data, and you don't have to write. You don't have to write any code. Until you know PL SQL code, you have to run. All you do, run two programs. Make sure you are creating a file, taking the file, upload to the application. That is what you do. You don't have to run any code. All you need to do is upload the data. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Now, there is something called as reports. The out of the box visual reports You can create your own reports, or you can create an OTB report. Let's say, for example, if you want to create a purchase order report, okay, and you don't have to write any code for it. All you can do is it's something called as OTB feature, Oracle Business Intelligence, which helps you to create your own reports. You don't have to run any. You don't have to create a code, or all you can do. Just give me a minute. Okay, this takes me to the reports and text page, and this is reports page. So I click on this analysis. Okay, so you have different subject folders. Let's assume that there are the folders are available, and based on the folders, you just do the drag and drop methodology. Okay, so you can create different reports. Okay, which means there is something called as PA, which is ideally created using a writing code, PL/SQL code. Okay, so you have a SQL editor screen, and you enter the data, enter the code there, and you get an output. Using the output, you can create a report. This is one way. Or you come to this screen, click on create analysis, and then you pick a folder and you do the drag and drop methodology, which means you just drag the fields, what are the fields that are required, and you create a report out of it. This is called as OTBA report. The first one is using a SQL code. The second one is just a drag and drop fields. That's what it does. Okay, let's say purchase orders. Purchase orders, procure to pay. Okay. Okay. Now what I can do, I can just click on purchase orders. Okay. Then I click on buyer, item description, purchase order number, requested. Okay. Okay. So what I just click on result. The moment I click on result, what happens? It just displays the data here. Again, depends upon the role and access, you will see the data. If you don't have access to view the data, probably you'll not see any data. Right now I have a date, I have access. So I'm able to see who is the buyer, who is the item, what is the item description, purchase order number, everything I can see here. See, you can just create reports on the fly. You don't have to write any SQL program. All you can do, identify this, and let's say now supplier. It's a I want to use a supplier name now. I want to add a supplier. Let's say supplier name, supplier number. That's it. The report is created now. See? Now you can export this to, different formats, PDF, Excel, PowerPoint, web, whatever it is. Okay. This is how you can do. If you want, you can also create a graph or a pie chart also. Is it clear? If you want, you can also create a pie chart for analysis purpose. Probably you want to see, from the management side, what they want to do. I want to see the data in analysis, maybe the pie chart, where I want to see how much is ordered, how much is open, how much is received, or how much is not received. All these analysis they want to see in terms of pie charts or graphs. You can also do that using these graphs. Now Oracle has all different ways of displaying the data in different methods, or probably representation. It can be graphs, pie charts, or bars like this, or funnel, or records. Anything like this you can show. You can create your own pie tables. You can do a lot of things here. This is what it does. Any questions? So now here comes the important part. Okay, let's talk about the course. Now, whatever we have seen, it is all about high level, correct? As part of the course curriculum, what we do the deep test. This is a 2 months course program, and each day, what we'll do, we'll start working on the functionalities and what you'll be doing in terms of cloud applications when you actually log into the application. So we'll do the all the configurations. Okay, so whatever you're seeing, right? FSM, user management, PDH, inventory, procurement, order management, we'll train you on all these modules. We'll train you on all these modules. Apart from that, we'll train you on data conversions, how to understand the data, how to review the data, what are the best practices, how do you recommend what to the customers, okay, and how to create BA reports, OTA reports. Everything will be everything you'll get trained in this course. Okay, so best business practices. Okay, or what you can do. Everything will be part of this training curriculum. Now, apart from that, what we can do is what we'll do is deep dive into the Oracle Cloud applications, the challenges that you see in the product, okay, the best practices, and the issues that you face, how to configure based on the requirements, how to understand the requirement, and how to create or map it to the software. That is what we do. Okay, and every day we have assignments, which means today, let's say if we have talked, we have covered a topic on how to create an item, how to create a purchase order, or how to create a sales order. Now we are going to do assignments, which means we will be giving you assignments, and based on the assignments, you'll be working on these assignments so that you'll become hands-on. So theory or working on attending the session is not just works. You have to make sure you have to work on the assignment so that you can become hands-on. And any doubts that you get, probably we'll do the one-on-one, and we'll make sure that we'll support you to make sure you understand the concept, and then you do that in the system. Concept and system wise, how you do this. We'll make sure that we do one-on-one sessions to understand, to make sure you understand the concept and work in the system, configure in the system, perform the transaction. That's what we do. Okay. Assessment, weekly ones, we'll have 10-15 minutes assignments to make sure that what you have understood, what you have not understood, what is the development area, and how you want to present a topic. Take any topic, and we'll make sure that you run it using an assignment process so that you get that experience of presenting a topic, and you also feel more comfortable what you have understood and how well you're presenting. Because as a consultant, as a software engineer, or as a cloud application engineer, right? So when you go to the customers, when you have to present a topic, how well or how comfortable are you in presenting topic? Okay, so that presentation skills will be part of this training program. Skill development program will train you how to prepare a present PPT, Word document, Excel sheets, and present a topic in terms of how well the customers can understand it. Okay, then we also help you to prepare the resumes as per the market standards, and we also help you in mock interviews. Okay, these are some of the things which are really part of the course curriculum which we want to do. Again, what we are showing is just the basic, but again, there are tons of things which will be part of the training program. We want to make sure, in case if you're taking this course seriously, we want to make sure, we give the path so that, you take this as a career, and will be part of this journey where you can, move on to this or cloud journey. Okay. Any questions, guys?
So hey, Pramod, when some issue comes, usually if you are working for a client, they'll raise the tickets for us. So if
Correct.
issue comes, no, we'll raise a ticket with Oracle support, like because
That depends. That
yeah.
depends. That depends. It's a good question. Now, what are we? We are not a development company. We are a service industry. Right? Now, let's say, for example, if there is an issue comes, now with your knowledge, with your experience, you will solve the problem first of all. If you think there is something not in your hands, and there is something not you can do, then you reach out to oracles for support. Is clear?
Okay.
Yes.
So for that is chargeable, right? Again.
Oh, that is, you don't have to worry about it. So that customer has a connection with or a agreement with a Oracle. Because see, again, let's say for example, you buy a laptop. You bought a Dell laptop. Okay. So you bought it from a local vendor or local shop, retail store. Okay. Now, if something is happening, probably you can go to any local technician and you get it solved. But probably there is something which is, if there is a problem with the system and you have to take it to only Dell, you go to Dell authorized. But you already have a warranty, you have a warranty guarantee, everything, right? Now, if it is covered for 1 year support, you'll get it for free. Clear?
So, and for this, we don't need the EBS knowledge, or we are going to get trained in EBS also.
It has nothing to do with the EBS. See,
Okay.
it is all about, if you are getting an issue, how you are resolving that issue. Okay. To let me give an example. Let's say, for example, you are working on issue. You got an issue. That issue is saying that customer is unable to process a transaction. It's a simple question. Customer unable to perform a transaction. Okay, there is an error. Looking at the error, you understand what is the issue, and you try to resolve with your experience based on changing the settings or access, whatever it is. If you think this is a typical error and you don't have any clue, then you go to support.oracle.com and then you raise a ticket and then you work with Oracle to get the issue fixed. Does it answer your question? It has nothing to do with your EBS. It has nothing to do with the cloud applications.
Typically,
As
EBS
long
is on-premise, right? And the one which we are going to get knowledge and acquire this this program course is for only the cloud.
it's a cloud. It's called a SaaS service of software as a service. It's a SaaS. It's not on-premise.
Okay. And I know usually when we are looking for opportunities, we'll be only doing part of implementation, or we get a opportunity to work on the support side as well. If we are going to work for a service based companies.
Okay, now I'm showing this Naukri.com.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Sure.
you can just anybody you can all log into Naukri.com and search for Oracle SCM. I'm just searching using Oracle SCM jobs. Now see this, 4 to 7 years of experience, and these are all the job market. Someone asked me about the job market for Oracle Cloud, right? These are all your jobs. You can also search in your mobile if you want. Okay, this will tell me how much demand is there in the market and what level of experience they're asking you. So again, implementation support, it doesn't matter. See, as long as you're good, as long as you're hands-on in the application, you can do implementation or support. But in this course, what we will do, we'll make sure that we'll give you training in such a way that you can work on implementation or support. That is what we are going to do. Okay. Any questions, guys? Again, this is just an ERP system, and it's not really tough to learn the subject because these are all day-to-day things what you see in your life, right? Probably if you go to Amazon, you buy a product and you don't like it. Once you receive it, you return it back, return the product. That's what you do. You go to a shop, you want to buy a product, a laptop, you inquire multiple shops, then you analyze, is it a budget, is it a service, is it the time or support, whatever the factors. Based on that, you buy a product. That's what you do. If you want looking for a car or a bike, what you do, you go to multiple people, multiple stores, get the codes, you understand what you want, okay, who is giving the best rates or service or support, then you buy it and give them the order. What are we trying to do here? These are all our day-to-day scenarios. Same thing happens in business. And how do we do in system? That is what we are trying to do. Or if you are into food industry, you have your own restaurant. Every day you prepare food and sell on Swiggy or sell on Zomato, or depends upon the customer requirement. If it is a holiday, if it's a regular day or a weekends, how much you make it, how much you supply, how much you sell it, how much you cater it. how you want to give your customers some sort of discounts, okay, or specials. All these are called as day-to-day scenarios that you see in different industries. Ultimately, how well you want to cater your customers with a best service that can be done outside, but how do you do inside in the system? That is what we do in cloud applications.
So even we are going to cover the integrations with other, the
Correct. High-level integrations in terms of strategy. How does it work? What is the process? In case if you have to connect with the systems, what is it we do? That will part. Yes. But integrations, we don't actually do the integration thing, but we cover the topic and we'll make sure that you get that understanding on how to link between two systems. Because integration is more from technical side. Anything else? I'm open for questions now. In case if you want to check the job market, you can check this. Okay, what level of experience they're asking? See this. So currently, I just searched for only cloud applications, right? So if you see 4 to 7 years of experience, they're asking. Okay, and different locations you have. They also have from 3 years also, 2 year, 2.5 years also. They have. See any consult, any basically if you have experience, if you don't have experience, or probably you have a little bit of experience also, they're actually taking. So again, as part of the course, we'll make sure you get hands-on in application. Apart from that, we'll also help you in preparing for the interviews, preparing for how to prepare the resumes, how to attend interviews, everything. We'll take care about it. Fresh, there are also openings on freshers, not only for seniors or experience. You can also see there are some companies who are hiring for freshers also, who are having 1 year of experience or 2 years of experience. See, Oracle Cloud, 2 years of experience, SCM functional expert, Fusion, so 1 year of experience. See this, 1 year they're saying, not even 2, just a 1 year of experience. If you are also, they're taking. Market is really good. And again, market is always good as long as you are ready for the market. I'm telling you. If you're not ready, basically, if you have jobs also, it doesn't matter. So make sure, see, from our side, we'll put all the efforts to make sure, you are getting ready for the job market. And after this also, once you get job also, we'll make sure that we give enough support, which is again, we can talk about that later. But ideally, all we want to do is that, in case if you're taking this career, we'll just make sure that we'll take you to the, we'll prepare the training. We'll make sure you get that enough training, work on assignments, assessments, interviews, jobs, and post job also. We'll give the support. That is what we want to do. Any questions, guys?
So hey, I mean, we're just curious. Is this was launched, way back 2011, 12, Pramod, or is this
Which
something,
one?
the Oracle SCM Fusion?
Oh, this was actually, as part of the product improvement, right? This was there from probably 9, 10, but at that time it was not matured enough, right? They were just getting the product ready, but now the product is so matured enough that, the customer started using this. To
Okay.
answer the question, this was way back itself. Initially, they didn't have this UI. The UI was quite different. It was just a screen. They didn't have this user interface which shows your info layers, dashboards, ease of navigation. That was not there initially. But later on, slowly the product got improved, and they enriched the product in such a way that the ease of navigation and features they improved.
Okay.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Anything related to course? Anything related to opportunities or anything? Feel free. Please message your email IDs and phone numbers in the chat. so that we can reach out to you for the further communication.
Yeah, sure, Pramod, we'll do that now.
Right. So again, irrespective of the technology what you are into, irrespective of the job what you're doing currently, it doesn't matter as long as you have that knowledge of grasping the things, or in case if you want to spend some time to take your career next, we are always there to support you. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to promise you. Again, these are all real-time scenarios that we want to talk. And when it comes to real time, we'll talk about the project. We'll talk about how it works in real time projects. What are the scenarios that they do? How challenging it is to implement something, or how best you can implement the software. Okay, how in this scenario, if you have to configure something, all the best practices we'll talk about, all the case studies, and we'll also make sure that you are actually doing a mini project or a small project using a real time scenarios.
So 2 months is ideally enough, right, Pramod?
Correct. 2 months is good, but again, it may extend because in case if you are actually working on a bigger project or small, I mean, in case if you're starting on a project which it is taking time for you, but 2 months is really good enough to understand how well you can get trained. And so we say 2 months, which is
Yeah.
nothing but Monday to Friday. That's what we consider. It's Saturday, Sundays is anyways it's off.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Understood. Yeah. Thanks, Pramod, for the time.
What do you think? I mean, did you understand the crux of the product or understood the product?
Yeah. See, no, I mean, almost. I think. I mean, I'm on the edge of understanding this. Very close to it, I can say. As I was saying, this is, as you said, of course, I mean, the technology we're working and the technology what I'm going to opt now, because it's a bigger change, for I'm going to plan. So
You
whatever.
are in already on EBS, right?
No, I'm not on any BS. I was
Okay,
working
okay.
on tools, as I said, was working
Mm.
on, IDM, SAP IDM, and then I was working on CPS Redwood Control, and there were the different sort of applications which were, supporting tools always, and kind of, painful because, and no customer, keeps those clients usually more than 2 years or 3 years, because even, they go for trial and error basis method, Pramod, what I've seen, in my career now, whatever
Okay.
they use those tools is trial and error, because they get it for free for 2 years, they'll use it and they'll say they are not happy and they'll return it again, they'll buy some more, they are very smart enough, as we say, when we buy product on Amazon, you see it,
Mm.
use it, and within 15 days you are
Correct.
return back, right? So the
Return
same.
policy.
Correct. Yeah, they are doing the same. So ultimately, we will not stick to any of the product for a longer period of time. That's what I have come to in conclusion. There is nothing really, people who are moderate enough, who are buying the product. I mean, classing about talking about the the purchasing power of a middle class guy and a purchasing power of an super rich guys. So
Mm.
that's the same. All has got the same mentality only. We say there are very big giants in the market. Their products and all. Of course, maybe there are this is a way of saving some product on the IT side for them. It's a budget constraints for them. Every new person comes, he change the tool sometimes.
Got it. Yeah. But again, you probably have seen a lot of products in your business, and you have seen how they work, right?
Yeah.
Which means, yeah, we have seen multiple systems which they've implemented after 2 years. They got a new product, which is a
Correct.
new ERP software system, right? Which means now you understand they're like you work probably in your experience, you worked on multiple systems, and you know how systems works, all
Yeah.
these systems, right? Now, cloud is one more tool. It's an Oracle Cloud application. Is a software which is used across the globe, and which is, I can say, high-end product. It caters small or medium or high-end customers also. But now, when you compare all those three or more systems that you worked on, right? They are also into ERPs. Basically, they also use help you to perform transactions of purchase orders or items or sales orders or all this. This also does. So you already are familiar with the concept. Now you know the business. All you need to do is just connect with the new tool. That is the only thing what you can do. It's a tool is new, but the concept is same for you. Because business always is same. You buy, you sell, you maintain products, you invest the customer. Apart from that, nothing else is there. But each product has a different features how well you can do those transactions in the system. That is what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are there. We'll support you. It should not be a big deal, I can say.
Oh, yeah, sure. So for this is zero coding, and we don't require any sort of
You
queries.
don't, that is what I'm telling you. You don't have to type, you don't have to write a single line of code. But still, I'm telling you, in this course, we'll give that experience of writing the code, and it's not mandatory, it's good to have. I'm telling you. Is it right mandatory to have this? Absolutely no. Is it good to have? Absolutely yes.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and you don't need to learn all the coding standards. Basic thing, what it needs for you to manage the job, that is what we'll train you. And we'll also tell you what's the best practice, the easiest way to do the things.
Okay, good.
Let's do simple things in simple way. Let's do complicated things in simple way also. That's what we want to do in this course.
Sure.
All right. So guys, again, as part of the demos, we want to take the feedbacks. Again, it's always feedback. We want to understand how well we are doing. Again, there's an improvement development area that we want to work on. Where feedback is definitely valuable for us. It's a continuous process that we want to understand where are we. Okay. Feel free. We want to definitely take it as a constructive feedback. All right.
Pramod, a small request from my side.
Yes, Ramita.
While explaining the tool section, will you please slow down that tool section, because I'm very much new to this type of things. No, I'm from non-IT thing.
Perfect, Ramita. So as part of the demo, we have
Yeah.
30 minutes or 1 hour. That is the reason we were like, we want to cover
Fine.
everything because we
Yeah.
want to respect your time, not our time. Because
Yeah.
you on a weekend, probably you're taking 1 hour, which means you're very serious about a job
Mhm.
change and learn
Mhm.
something new, right? And in that 31 hour, we want to make sure we want to tell you what is covered as part of this. I can
Yeah.
slow down and I can talk for 1 hour or 10 hours. But what is that we
Mhm.
want to cover is the matter, right? So,
Okay.
but for trainings, it will be very slow. We'll make sure that you understand the concept, then we'll move on.
Okay.
If you don't understand the topic, we can pause, we can ask questions. See, again, it's not about, we just give training. It's about building the career and giving that career, right? So if you don't understand, there is no point of me going to the next topic because every topic is dependent, right? In that
Yeah.
in that factor, right? So we want to we make sure we clear your doubts, we give you the scenarios, understand the concept, then we do the real time, then we go to the next topics. Feedback
Yeah.
taken. This will not be the same when you actually join the trainings.
Yeah.
You'll ask me to go slow, go fast. I'm telling you.
Okay. And
Okay.
once we are done with the class section, we will can we expect that recordings?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That is what we want to do. See, again, when the class is completed, right? So again, we'll make sure we give the training, we'll give the recordings on the same day or next day, but we'll definitely make sure that you get that materials. You get the assignments, you get the PPTs, you get the recordings. You can touch base with the admin for that. But assessment is the main thing. What we want to make sure you are working on. That is what is important for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, again, recording is good. When do you need recordings? When you have not understood the concept or you want to go back and see how we did.
Yes.
Correct? Correct. See,
Yeah.
in case, see,
And
but what we want to make sure that, first of all, you don't need recordings also. That is what we want to do because we make sure you understand the concept. We make sure you understand how to navigate to the application. That is what when you understand, right? Probably, you don't even go to the recordings. That's what I think.
okay. But what is the timings of this class? So
So we
once
are
we are in okay, yeah, continue.
Yeah, so we are actually running with the multiple timings. The admin will definitely intimate you with the information when we starting the batches. I mean,
Okay, because
what's the timings?
weekdays we are working no once.
Morning
For me
itself
it is
we'll have
around,
the
uh, for me it
morning
is a
only.
9 is login time. So that is the reason I'm asking.
Sure. So we'll make sure that we are actually working with multiple people.
Okay.
The lot of the batch is getting ready, so we are actually taking the timings, and we'll best see what best suits for the team.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what we want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Ramita?
No.
You understood cloud, right?
Yeah.
At least. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Ravinder.
Thank,
Thanks, Ramita.
thank you,
Thank you.
Pramod.
Thank you very much.